Have you ever been in a conversation and you are trying to figure out exactly what you should do in that freaking moment, and all of a sudden all these variables pop up, you're kind of tired, you don't know if the person wants to talk, you don't know how to start it, you don't know what should be going on. It's just a lot of damn variables and it's a lot to balance. And that's something that we all want to kind of like figure out, okay, how should we look at this? And that's what I want to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about is a way of seeing this in a conversation where or when you're going to events, when you're just like trying to be a better communicator, how can we view it to where it gives us permission to go and communicate and connect with people, but also gives us the permission to just kind of relax and not have to do nothing, or if we want to just chill, we can do that. Because sometimes you're like, okay, I want to go out there and connect with people, but also sometimes I don't have the energy for it, and when you kind of force it, it just doesn't go very well, versus, but you're still not giving yourself the acceptance in the moment where you're like, can I relax? Can I just chill? You don't know what the balance is. And this is for me something that popped up recently. I went to this little, there was a, I don't know what you call it, I guess a social situation where there's people around, and you're kind of just there and you don't know what decision to make. I was there in the moment. I didn't know what the freak decision to make, whether I should just be okay relaxing, just kind of pulling out my phone, chilling, because I was kind of exhausted at the time. But you're in the back of your mind, you're like, am I just avoiding trying to connect with people, trying to talk to people right now? And yeah, at that moment I was like, okay, I know I need to figure out a way of thinking about this. And here's a beautiful way of thinking about this that I have birthed from that thing that can really help you guys. So the way I think about it is, now it's like pickup basketball. So when you're going to play basketball, it's kind of like there's an empty court, or sometimes there's people playing 4-on-4, or sometimes somebody's just around there shooting the ball. And when you're going there, you can kind of just sit on the sideline sometimes. You don't necessarily always have to hop on the court, freaking play, do whatever. You can just relax, chill, be on your phone, watch the games going on. It depends. Or you can also see somebody playing one-on-one. You're like, hey, like you just kind of get up there and you start playing the game with them. You start just like having some fun, playing, shooting a couple, and it doesn't have to be too much. You can play to 1, you can play to 3, you can play to 7. Sometimes you can have the energy to play till 21. And that's kind of what conversation is. It's kind of just, you're going into it. Communication is going into it, not really needing it to be a certain thing. Now, the problem I was having is that it's like, sometimes you don't have the energy to go out there and like play a full quote unquote in a conversation, have like a full-on conversation with somebody, or you feel like if you start talking to somebody, like you're going to be trapped in that freaking convo, and you have to continue to keep it alive. And sometimes you don't want to do that. Sometimes you just want to have a little short convo and then kind of just go back to doing your own thing. And that's what this pickup basketball game analogy basically is. So when you're going to talk with somebody, you can basically just be like, or when you're going to play a basketball game and you're playing pickup, you can kind of just be like, hey, y'all want to play? And then you just start playing, shooting a couple shots, feeling it out. That's the main thing, and that's important. You're kind of just feeling it out, feeling like, okay, am I really enjoying this? Am I having fun? Is this person cool? And then if you are, maybe you start just, y'all score a couple of possessions, y'all do a couple of possessions, and you're like, hey, I want to keep playing. You keep playing. And at any of the moments, maybe this isn't normal in basketball, but it is for conversation, because it's more of a rhythm thing in a conversation. It's more like jazz. You're kind of free flowing. You're not even playing to a score in combos. So in basketball, normally you'd be like, okay, we'll play till 7, we'll play till 5, or anything like that. But in conversation, you can think about it as either, hey, I just want to play till 1, and we'll see how that goes. And if I'm not having the most fun, or I'm just chilling, I can just dip out and walk away. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be weird. It doesn't have to be freaking awkward if you're just like, you hop onto the court, play a possession, and then you're done. But you can also, it's like, you hopping onto that court, you don't have a score, you're kind of just like, y'all just start playing together. You can ask somebody, hey, you want to play? Y'all start playing. You're not playing to a certain score. Y'all are just like feeling it out, having fun. Maybe you're serious sometimes. Maybe you're like playing full on, giving your full energy. Sometimes you're just gonna be playing with a friend. Y'all are gonna be like effing around, doing stupid stuff, just having fun. And at any moment, you can just kind of walk off. You're not playing to a certain score. If y'all have fun with the first 2 scores, then y'all can play to freaking 5 more. And then you can keep going. If you have the energy, you can play like freaking games back to back to back. And then all of a sudden, somebody else might come in and be like, hey, you want to play too? And y'all can start playing. That's the same thing for conversations. You can go up to somebody and basically, you don't have to ask them, hey, do you want to have a conversation? No, you can just say, that first thing is just like shooting the basket, or you just start playing. You see somebody on the court and you just go to them and you start playing in conversations. This is basically saying, like, you can make a statement, you could just start talking to them, you can just say something, make an observation, whatever it might be. Feel it out, and you could tell their vibe, you can tell your vibe, you can tell how you're feeling. And if you're feeling it and you're like, okay, I want to engage some more. I want to continue to engage, maybe ask a couple questions, maybe throw a couple more, just start talking about stuff. And if you're having fun, you can play that conversation as long as you want. You can talk to that person as long as you want. But if you are like, okay, I'm gonna go in there, feel it out, I'm just not feeling it, or this person doesn't seem like they really want to talk right now, or I'm kind of like tired and I kind of want to go, or I kind of just want to chill right now, I don't want to talk for however long, you can play till like three with that person, or quote unquote, you can just like play 3 possessions with that person, and then you can just hop off the court, relax on the sideline, and it doesn't have to be weird. It's the same thing with conversations. You can just be like, okay, I want to go and just relax on the sideline. I don't want to do too much, and I can relax and I can just chill. And you know, it doesn't have to be awkward when you do that. That's the beautiful thing, man. I think this is a beautiful way of thinking about it, because it really just allows you to see it like, okay, I can get better. And what we're trying to do is, we know that in a conversation, if there's like a quote unquote in a pickup game, there's a 4-on-4 going on, or like, yeah, 4-on-4 going on, and all of a sudden you have the opportunity to hop in. You're like, hey, I want to hop in. It's kind of like, if you're hopping into a group conversation, you're kind of like feeling it out, feeling the rhythm. You don't got to do too much. You're not trying to grab the ball, and you're not trying to freaking be the craziest scorer, trying to be a quote unquote presenter, whatever you want to say. You don't got to be the most entertaining, anything like that. You're just kind of like feeling it out. You're getting the ball, maybe you make a couple passes, maybe you kind of like feel it out, maybe you're confident in your game, so you can like go out there and you can kind of score, and you can just have fun with that. Maybe you're really good, and the better that you get at your skills and communication, the better that you can get about just hopping in the game, getting control of the game, having fun, setting up your team, scoring baskets, doing that stuff. That's what it's all about. It's harder to get into those 4-on-4 games with random people, just like it is in conversations. It's harder to just hop in to a random group conversation, but we're getting better at it. And I think this way allows us to really see it as, okay, you're just feeling it out. It doesn't have to be too much, and you can allow yourself to make the best play in the moment. You can just serve as best you can in the moment with the conversation, and I think it's beautiful. And I think it could really just set you up to be able to get better at it, because a lot of times maybe you do want to improve your basketball game. You're gonna have to go into, you know, setting up games, just playing out the game, having the rhythm, not just hopping off because you're not feeling it that day. Sometimes you're just gonna have to do it even if you're not feeling it, and just putting yourself out there even when you don't know if that person's really feeling it. And sometimes you got to be good at setting the vibe, making it a little bit more fun, whatever it might be. Same thing with conversations. Sometimes you're not necessarily gonna feel it, you're gonna be tired, you might not have it that day, but you can still put yourself out there and, you know, try to connect with people as best you can. You get better at being able to just have fun, play some games. And you know, in conversations, it's not like you're trying to win, you're trying to just like vibe, you're trying to have fun, you're trying to have a good time. Same thing with if you're just hopping on a random court trying to play with somebody, you're trying to have fun, you're trying to improve your skills, you're trying to have a great time. And the better that you get, I think the basketball part of it is also like being able to play the game and score and pass and dribble, whatever you want to say. That's the technical part of conversations too. The better that you get at that, the better that you're able to score in a conversation, which is basically just making a connection, having fun, having a good time. So this is a beautiful way of thinking about it. I think it could really set you free if you understand where it's coming from with here, and just being able to go into any place knowing that, hey, sometimes you're going to talk, sometimes you're going to have fun, sometimes you're going to try to go and meet with people, but you don't always have to do that. You can just sit on the sideline, chill, and relax. And it really just allows you to make whatever move you want to make, and allows it to stop feeling such like, oh, what choice do I freaking make? You can make any choice, and you can accept that choice in the moment, but knowing we're trying to improve in communication, so we want to try to go out there and play as many games as we can, even if it's really bad. You know what I'm saying? So this is a great way of thinking about it. I hope the next time that you go into an event, a social situation, whatever it might be, that you're able to put this into practice by being able to just really go out there and be more at peace in whatever decision that you are currently making in that moment. Love you guys very much. Hope you guys have an amazing one. Talk to you all in the next video. Peace.